Hey, what's up guys, it's Darius, and these are the Jaybird Freedom. These are the newest earbuds from Jaybird, and the key feature is that they're super compact. Are they worth $200, and how do they compare to the Jaybird X2s? Well, let's find out. Like with the X2s, the packaging they come in is great. The Freedoms are presented in a very nice way, and you get a feeling that you bought something valuable. They come with a quick start guide, a small battery clip, which I'll get to later, and a nice small carrying pouch. I prefer it over the carrying box that comes with the X2s, which is a lot more bulky and harder to open. Inside the pouch, there is a small charging cable, 3 pairs of silicone, and 3 pairs of Comply foam ear tips. Also included are 3 pairs of ear fins, a shirt clip, and 2 cable shorteners. So quite an amount of accessories. Taking a look at the Freedoms themselves, the first thing you notice is obviously how tiny they are. They're probably the smallest headphones I've ever seen. Now the next thing you notice is how large the remote is. It's freaking huge. Like, look at it compared to the one on the X2s. The reason for that is since they are so small, there was no space for the battery or any kind of tech to fit inside the earbuds, so they moved it all to the remote. Speaking of the remote, you can obviously control your music with it, make calls, and it also houses an LED light. The mic is fine, not bad, but also not great. Design-wise, they look great, and they come in 4 different colors, which are all very stylish. I have the carbon version, and they look pretty nice. Now the build quality was also improved. The earbuds are made from metal now, unlike the plastic X2s, and the cable is round and smaller, and a bit shorter now. But it seems to be as rugged as the cable on the X2s. Overall, they are built really well and will last you a long time. I, for example, do not take good care of my headphones. I mostly just carry them in my pocket together with my keys, and they still are like new. And they're also sweat proof. Also, I wish that they were magnetic though, so they don't dangle around my neck. The pairing process is very simple and quick. You can even connect 2 Freedoms to one device or connect a pair to 2 devices, which is great. There's also a voice that informs you about the state of your Freedoms, for example, how much battery is left. Speaking of the battery, with such tiny in-ears, battery life is naturally a concern. Jaybird advertises 8 hours of listening to music, like with the X2s, but this sadly isn't completely true. The earbuds itself only have about 4 hours of battery, and the battery clip I mentioned earlier can add another 4 hours. All you have to do is clip it onto the remote. I really like that I can just add a battery clip in case I forgot to charge them, and the great thing is that you can listen to music while they charge, but sadly the clip makes the remote even more bulky and I can see myself losing it. Now here's the problem. You need the clip to charge the Freedoms because there's no port on the Freedoms themselves since they are so small. This is definitely a downside and something that has to be fixed with the next model. Also, 4 hours of listening time is fine for me personally, and not bad considering their size, but it's definitely not great. The fit is good. Since they're so small, they sit a little more in the ear than the X2s, which takes some getting used to, but I personally like how they fit, and they're also pretty comfortable. You should also be able to find a good fit for yourself with one of the included ear tips. One note to the ear tips, after using them for about 2 months, they sit a little loose and I could potentially lose them. Like the X2s, you can wear them the normal way or with the cable going over the ear. I personally prefer the classic fit, but you have the choice. Like all Jaybird headphones, they also come with ear fins. I personally do not like them at all, but you can get an even better fit with them. Overall, I found the Freedoms to fit a bit better and be slightly more comfortable than the X2s. Sound isolation was good, letting through only a tiny bit of ambient noise. And one thing worth mentioning is that since the remote is kind of heavy compared to the rest, it pulls a bit down on the right side, which is a little annoying, but you mostly get used to it. Now let's talk about the sound quality. The bass is very good and there's a bit of emphasis on it, but it's not overpowering and it's better and more present than on the X2s. The mids sadly aren't that great, they're fine but lack in comparisons to the X2s. Vocals and instruments are good but not super detailed. Highs sadly are a little piercing since the Freedoms get pretty loud. The highs again are better on the X2s, but overall they don't get as loud. The soundstage was also a bit wider on the X2s. Now this sounds like the Freedoms sound bad, but that's definitely not the case. It's very impressive what kind of sound Jaybird managed to get out of such small drivers, but the X2s are just better. Now another big selling point of the Freedoms is the My Sound app. There you can customize the sound to your liking and select athletes' profiles. Essentially, it's just an EQ, but the cool thing is that your sound profile gets stored on your earbuds. So when you connect to a different device, the EQ is still set and you don't have to do it all over again. I personally do not use it because I'm not a huge fan of EQs. I do think it's a nice feature, but don't buy the Freedoms for it. Now I know that they're very expensive with a retail price of $200, and I admit that for the price, you can definitely get some better sounding Bluetooth earbuds like the X2s, but what you're paying for with the Freedoms is the form factor and the portability, and I think Jaybird nailed that. If you want to pick them up for yourself, I'll have a link down below in the description. If they are too pricey for you, I will also leave a link to my X2 review and also to a review of a pair of budget Bluetooth earbuds, and also links where you can buy the two below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop me a like down below, comment if you have any feedback, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.